Movies. We watch movies. You listen to us talk about movies that we watched without you.
It's beautiful.
Thanks. Now this is podcasting.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Super FilmsCast 64. Yeah, well, today we're here with Adam and Spencer. How you guys doing?
Oh, I'm chilling on the flip side.
Yeah!
I'm good, Trey.
Yeah, all right. Well, today we're going to talk about movies, or how some people in the industry like to call them films, or moving pictures for you old folks out there in Tinseltown, USA. Bada bing!
Trey had 2 shots of espresso in his coffee.
4.
2 extra shots
Yeah.
for our extra friend.
Freaking wound.
How you guys doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
This is our Dirk episode, correct?
Yep.
This is the Dirk episode.
41.
41.
Nope.
We had 69 on the GamesCast. I totally forgot
Nice.
until the last minute.
Yeah.
It's-
And so that last minute was just a suck off.
High
Missed
five. We're
oppor-
just sucking each other off.
Missed opportunity. You could have just played, what's that game where the Japanese girls got the big titties
Oh.
on the beach?
All of
the
them.
volleyball game?
I know. which one you're-
Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could play that.
That's
should-
like the most 69 game, right? Ooh, or you
I
could
would
have...
say Conker's Bad Fur Day if you really want to get into like potty humor. 69 is
I'm
probably
not
Conker.
talking potty humor,
Just
baby. I'm
boobs.
talking
Sex.
sex stuff.
You know what the hottest sex scene in a video game is?
Portal,
Exactly.
where you go and you suck yourself off.
Yeah. You can do that if you want to in Portal.
Yeah.
Anyway, this isn't GamesCast,
Sorry.
okay?
Trey's sucking himself off now.
I am.
For anyone
You
who
wouldn't
can't
know.
sit here.
You would not know.
For all the listeners at home, Trey is sucking himself off.
Ooh, Trey, stop it. Trey, it's gross.
That's either me sucking myself off or Adam eating eggs.
Oh, me so horny. That's what I say when I eat eggs.
Mm-hmm. I got a bone to pick with you guys.
Uh-oh.
You guys like to, call me out on shit all the time.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm inconsistent with my opinions, maybe. I'm doing my
Ooh.
quotes.
Fingies.
You say that I didn't like Mad Max, Furry Road.
Yeah.
You said that.
well,
When did I
it,
say I didn't like it?
it was, well, let me see. I sent you the direct quote because I went
Okay.
back and listened to it.
Okay.
You said, I liked it all right.
That doesn't say I didn't like it.
No.
And then you did the Trey thing where you increased how much you liked it the more you talked about it.
Well-
Look, I'm the common man who doesn't really have a strong opinion about things. I have
Trey.
strong opinions. I just think I can fluctuate.
Trey, I asked, also, trying to remember, Adam, you really liked Fury Road, and Trey was just all right with it. Yes.
That sounds like I was
You
like,
said,
mad
I liked
about
it. I don't think I was just, I eat. You said exactly, I liked it all right. So, which one is it, Trey?
I liked it a bunch.
Oh.
It's like one of Adam's favorite movies. I don't
Yeah.
think it's one of my favorite of all time, but I really liked it. I have it on DVD. I would watch it again if someone said, let's go watch it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So,
Acceptable.
setting the record straight, if you have listened to this podcast before and you heard the episode in which Trey said he liked it all right, redact that.
Redact that whole
Trey
episode.
really liked it.
Also, another question that was just brought up. Trey put together on Letterboxd his top 50 movies list,
You guys are stalking my shit.
and it has 52 movies.
Well, I actually did that this morning, just randomly.
Uh-huh.
Because my
So
thing
what
is,
difference does it make?
why do you care what I'm doing on my letterbox?
Because I use your letterbox to make movie suggestions.
I did it because I'm thinking about Lord of the Rings a lot, and I'm like, you know what? I can't just leave one Lord of the Rings movie on there. I got to put all 3.
Cool. So you take 2 other movies out.
No, I don't.
Well, then you call it your top 52.
One for every week of the year. Your perfect year would
Yeah,
have
perfect
watch
year.
one a week.
Perfect year, perfect you. You know what? I can't wait till I can find something on you guys to call you on.
All right. Well, welcome to Super Films Cast
Yay.
64.
Yay!
The podcast. I figured out why people always send us game questions when you ask for films question. It's because it's the 64 at the end, which makes no sense.
Should we just change the name of the podcast?
Nope.
No?
I'm committed.
Okay.
I really enjoy whenever I meet someone and the conversation of, I do a movie podcast gets brought up, and they say, what's it called? Well, it's called Super Films Cast 64. You can't just leave it at that. You have to explain.
Oh,
the
you
long
see, there was
history.
another podcast.
You see, that's
I'm
my
part
life,
of the
though.
podcast network.
There was a much more successful podcast that gets money.
Not really money. It's like we get like $40. I have to split it between me, Connor, and Austin.
The IRS is not listening to this, Trey. You can admit
No, it's
that.
all on the up and
You
up.
guys
It just,
get
it's
sick
not
pay.
like, oh yeah, we get sick
Making
pay, man.
buku bucks.
Making millions. That's why I still work overnights, right?
Yeah.
Just
get-
charity.
You do it for the love of the game.
Love of the game. Thank God Jason Gotch isn't on air anymore. Good God.
This week on Super Films Cast 64, we're going to talk about what we've been watching, including Trey and I's bet payoff movies, the Emoji movie, and the new Mummy. Moving forward, we're going to talk a little news. The Super Bowl is also the Super Bowl of movie trailers.
Yeah, it's my Super Bowl. Like the Oscars are my
It's-
Super Bowl.
Well, no, it's the Super Bowl is my Super Bowl,
Well,
but for the trailers.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Hey,
indeed.
get Tom Brady off. I don't want to watch
that sports
Madden
ball.
Oh,
Sports ball.
get rid of the Madden 05 graphics of Tom Brady and Nick Foles, which they showed
They did.
a million times.
It's like a video game, guys.
I want to watch a little snippet of that movie where John Krasinski doesn't talk at all.
I'm pretty sure Barron did those graphics.
Baron Trump?
Barron Trump. He's excellent with the cyber.
He's the expert, right?
Yeah, he's a cyber expert. He knows how to do computers.
So then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about a Super Bowl movie that came out. The Cloverfield
Yes.
movie. The
The,
new
Cloverfield?
Cloverfield movie.
The
Paradox.
new Cloverfield film that came out.
It dropped as soon as the Super Bowl ended. We watched it almost immediately, so we can give you our opinions first, like we're real movie critics
Yep.
seeing it in advance.
Get the scoop here first.
So, Trey, what you been watching?
Oh boy, Adam, what I've been watching. I've watched about 7 films. This is probably, of the weeks, this is probably my weakest week. I wouldn't say it's the worst because I saw some good stuff.
Just
but-
one a day is his weakest week.
No. As far as quality.
Oh, I see.
Mr. We gotta slow down. Watches 7 movies this week. Good
You are
God.
the weakest week.
Goodbye.
This-
Hello, 2002. So I watched The Big Short.
Oh, hey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
very
hey. Man, that movie is just scary.
Yeah.
It is the best horror movie ever. It's just scary.
Yeah.
It is really well done. I could see Steve Carell in dramas forever. It's just so
He's
good
great.
as a
Yeah.
dramatic actor.
Yeah.
Everyone was good in that movie. I thought Brad Pitt was very good in that. I thought he kind of reminded me of I'm sorry, Colin Farrell a little bit in there, a little kind of in like The Lobster or something, kind of more stoic in a way.
Mhm.
He kind of looked like Colin Farrell in The Lobster too, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, it's The Big Short. If you haven't seen it, it's about the
The housing collapse.
housing collapse in 2008 and how all these people knew about it. And Christian Bale is excellent in it.
It's very good.
Really good in it. It's weird. I've watched so many movies this year. It kind of, they're all sort of coming together in a way where it's sort of like looking at a baseball season, like big picture. I'm starting to kind of see what actors I like and it's weird. I've never really done that before. You know, I've always kind of liked who I liked, but like seeing all these movies together and you see all these people reoccurring, it feels like I'm getting a better sense of what actors I like and what kind of things I like in movies. It's sort of kind of expanding sort of my taste in
You're
a way.
developing your palate.
Yes, indeed.
Mm.
No, Christian Bale's amazing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's a really good movie. It used to be on Netflix. I don't think it's on there anymore.
I think it is.
It
Yeah.
still is.
I think it is.
Okay.
Wherever you can find it, if you haven't seen it, strong recommend.
I watched In Bruges,
Yeah.
which I think I'm now a Colin Farrell fan after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good. And he's really good as that kind of quirky,
Smarmy.
smarmy guy.
Yeah.
He's really good as that. And Brendan Gleeson's great too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are like so you get Mad-Eyed Moody and
Yeah.
Voldemort
Yeah.
head to head.
Ralph Fiennes has had a hell of a career as well. Like he was in he was in
Ray Fine?
Ray Fiennes. I don't know why I would say Phineas.
It's a very weird
Yeah.
name because it's Ralph
yeah.
Fiennes, but it's Rafe.
And what's his brother's name?
He has a brother?
Yeah, he was in like Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, okay. I saw that a long time ago. I kind of forgot about it.
Oh, and then he was scheduled to play white Michael Jackson, and people got really mad about it. I'm not
Yes.
sure if that ever went through.
But like Ray Fiennes was the villain in Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Which I still need to see.
He's so good.
Yeah, and Quiz Show, he's amazing in that.
In Bruges is great. If you want to see a fun, funny little crime movie.
It's directed by Martin McDonagh, who did 3 Billboards,
Yeah.
and I think this is better than
Oh, yeah.
3
Oh,
Billboards
yeah.
in pretty much every way.
Hands down.
But it
Yeah.
does
It's-
have kind of the same, like
It's very
it's
different.
based in kind of the same sort of humor and stuff.
Yeah,
That's-
it's more up my alley as far as like gangster criminal kind of
Yes.
thing. Yeah. Then the Lego Movie, I finally finished that.
so
Everything
good.
is awesome. It's really good. And then I wish I had seen Emoji Movie after that, but I didn't because they're kind of similar in a way, like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, definitely.
I saw Edge of Tomorrow though.
Okay.
I really liked it. And you could kind of watch it as a video game movie. It's probably one of those movies that are video game movies without being a video game movie. Because even though it's sort of compared to Groundhog Day, it's almost very video game-esque where you're kind of progressing each time you die. You're getting better and better and better and better. Tom Cruise is getting better and better and better.
If you haven't seen it, Tom Cruise is in kind of this futuristic war. He's a PR person for the army, basically, and gets dragged into the battlefield and to fight these aliens. And then something happens, and he ends up, every time he dies, goes back through the day over and over again until...
It's a more action-packed Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the most apt.
Yes. And I thought, I'm going to steal this joke from Justin Montemayor, because Mino said that Groundhog Day was overrated, and then Justin said, well, it was pretty repetitive. Thought that was pretty good. Before I talk about Emoji Movie, I want to mention, and I also saw Cloverfield, the new Cloverfield. I want to talk about Paprika.
Okay.
It is this Japanese anime made in 2006.
Okay.
If you are a fan of animation, I would totally watch this movie. It is a kind of an anime in the same vein as... it is very similar to the plot of Inception. It's about kind of hacking into dreams, going into dreams, sort of these kind of cops who are trying to... This dream technology that goes out of hand. And the whole movie is very, very trippy, very weird. There's a lot of like in and out of dreams and these dreamlike kind of very... I hate to say trippy because I think that kind of undermines it a lot. It's like, oh, it's trippy, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's very well done. The animation is amazing. Like, I would recommend this to anyone who is an animator to watch this movie. Paprika. It is an anime in the same vein of like a Ghost in the Shell, or not as heavy sci-fi as like Akira, but it's not. My whole thing is, I think I'm starting to like anime, certain kinds of anime. But I've never liked it's a bunch of high school kids and, J-pop, and I've never liked that kind of anime. Like, I didn't even like Attack on Titan because it had too much of that. But this weird science fiction, weird art style, weird animation, I really dig. So
what did you see that made you choose this movie out of everything, out of all the anime
I was recommended
stuff?
this by somebody, by
Okay.
Perry Dactyl, who actually listens to this podcast. Perry
Okay.
Dactyl Perry. He recommended this to me because I mentioned to him that I really liked Akira, and he's like, "You'll like this." And
Nice.
Yeah, really liked it. Yeah.
Cool. So now, Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had notes.
So Trey lost our Oscar nomination bet where we tried to pick which movies would get Oscar nominations back in July.
Yes.
And as his punishment, Trey had to watch the Emoji Movie.
It is probably worse than I thought it would be.
It's so bad.
It really is bad. I have a whole bunch of notes here. So I put there's just a lot of cheap puns, a lot of cheap humor, a lot of just like it was just very lazy. The writing was like, let's put in a Hey Felicia joke here. Hey, you know this thing, and I swear to God, I hate James Corden so much.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
And there's
But he does karaoke in his car, and he's British.
He's a fat British Jimmy Fallon. That's what he is. All right, so I wrote too many puns, cheap humor. Eggplant emoji would totally be in the popular emoji crowd.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Eggplant emojis hanging out with the unused ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how out of touch the writers are.
It's very out of touch. It's very
Don't even know
kids
eggplant.
today kind of thing. And
Yeah.
it has that same kind of plot of it's someone who doesn't belong, and it just doesn't make sense for this kind of movie. Like it's very trite. The humor is not funny at all, and the whole thing is an ad for apps.
Yep.
It's just an ad. It's how did they even get Patrick? I guess Patrick Stewart needed a new lake house or something because
He didn't say very many lines.
No, he didn't.
So
he was probably getting paid though.
If you're an actor and somebody approaches you with a voice acting job, you just take it. It's
yeah.
the easiest money
Yeah.
that you can get, pretty much.
I like that the edgy song for the virus thing was "We're Not Gonna Take It," which is also featured at the end of Wolfenstein 2, and it's probably the worst part of Wolfenstein 2 at the very end credits. We're not gonna take it. That's the
D.
worst.
Snyder, you owe him an apology.
It's terrible.
It's a great song.
What is the song at the end of Edge of Tomorrow?
Oh, I'm not sure.
I don't
God.
remember.
Okay, well,
Can
I
you
just
voice
watched
it?
it. I don't remember it, but it's in the credits of Edge of Tomorrow, and it's bad.
Yeah,
It's real bad.
they need to work on their ending songs and movies.
We should have a discussion later about best ending songs.
Yeah, I think Lord of the Rings Into the West makes me cry.
It's like The Matrix came out.
The Matrix
and
is
then
what I had in mind.
and they were like,
Yeah,
we
need
gotta
that.
find the next bomb track.
Let's see. I put a sudden gender issues or sudden. YouTube app has a lack of alt-right rants and suicide forest videos.
Yeah,
It's a little too poppy, a lot less. The Holocaust, or the bunch of video game dudes saying racist things. Not a lot of that. That's YouTube.
Yep.
Unmonetized videos. Just Dance commercial. All right, and then the son caring for James Corden's character. Spotify app, Bubble Butt. Like, it's just so dumb. It is so offensively horrible. It is bad. It is really bad. It's not even an exaggeration of how bad it is. I didn't laugh. I was like cringing the whole time. Did not laugh once. It is an indictment on just everything. It was bad. And it's like I watched, the Lego movie, and also the animation is really lazy too. Like, it's just there's nothing to it. Like the Lego movie, like it's so cool because it looks like stop motion a lot of times.
Yeah, in the Lego movie when they why did I say it like that? The Lego movie.
You always say
Lego
movie. You say movie a lot.
But in that,
Mhm.
everything that happens, they say they had to be able to be done with actual Legos.
And I think the most impressive part was when they're on the ocean and the Legos were like moving like water.
Uh-huh.
That was really cool. And I mean, it was a very heartfelt movie. It was a funny movie. I think the message was a bit of a stretch, a little bit. I don't know. Like it felt like they're trying to say something, but I don't think they totally nailed it. But it was still a really nice, charming movie, Whereas, and that movie could have just been the same thing because it's toys, It's like, but I think though Legos. I think you have a more, you know what though? I mean, you could probably say in 50 years people have a nostalgic thing about emojis, but
Right.
Legos, I feel like they're more nostalgic. They're maybe more innocent.
So Trey, where would you put Emoji Movie with your like worst movies of all time? Is it?
It's worse than American Beauty.
Wow.
Well, okay, so it's worse than a very good
Than
movie.
an Oscar-winning movie.
No, I don't hate American Beauty though. I think I've given American Beauty. You know how I think you said something about how I forgot what movie it was, but you said it made you less hard on Thor Ragnarok. That's kind of how I felt about this. Like I kind of felt like bad about hating on some movies after this.
So you were like,
You know what, man?
you hate Emoji Movie so much, it made you realize that American Beauty is
might have been an all right movie.
Bright was. I think, the
Bright.
movie
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was something else. But
That was definitely a movie where I'm like, you know what? Maybe American Beauty is okay.
Well, just go ahead and keep Emoji Movie downloaded on your computer because that's kind of that might be the default Trey punishment.
I think it was Phantom Menace actually. I think we watched Phantom Menace.
Okay.
And I was like, oh boy, I was too hard on Thor. Yeah. So Spencer, what did you watch?
This week I watched 6 movies, which might be or hang on, 1, 2. I watched 5 movies and I started a 6th movie.
All right.
Yeah, which is pretty good for me. I think that's maybe the most I've seen in a week, which is like insane that I've completed 5 movies and I'm feeling demotivated by it because you a-holes are just blasting through the gates.
I might be taking a little, not a break, but slowing down because
Trey,
I'm trying to play some more.
You've said that like 3 weeks in a row, and then you're like, "Oh, watched 8 movies this week." Whoops. I watched Film Stars Don't Die in Liverpool.
You both saw that.
We saw that together.
Oh,
and that's like the most 2.5 star movie I've ever seen. It's just like boring. It's like not bad. Like there's some good acting in it, but I don't care about the story and it's boring. So I fell asleep in it. It's one of the. I was sitting there in the theater and I started to feel kind of tired. About halfway through the movie, and I think, well, might as well. So I snoozed off for like the middle third.
Let me take a little nap.
And I woke up for the final act, and it was the same thing was happening.
Yeah, nothing really progresses in the movie.
Yeah, the movie's about Gloria Graham, who was a big film star in the 50s. She won an Oscar for supporting actress, and it just follows her kind of in her later years. She's in England, meets a younger actor. They fall in love.
They fuck?
Yes, they do. I also watched In Bruges. Bruges. That I thought that was very good. We already know what it's about. It's definitely better than 3 Billboards for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen.
It's more fun. I mean, it's more fun.
It's a lot more fun. I feel the story is just a lot less sprawling.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just paced a lot better. I really like Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
I already did, and he's fantastic in that. The whole cast is cool. It's funny. It's a really good movie. Martin McDonagh hates America.
Yeah, the Americans
and hates Americans.
Oh man!
But like, it's funny. the scene with the Americans, and then he ties it in late at the very end, which is great. And then at the the bit with the Canadians was fantastic. Yeah, it was a very good movie.
I like that he was trying to send him to a vacation to Bruges because he thinks it's so beautiful and nostalgic, and he just hates it.
Yeah. Oh, you think I want to die in fucking Bruges?
I think that's great.
Yeah. I saw Captain Underpants.
Yeah, I saw that.
We
with your niece.
We were babysitting.
Yeah.
I've heard really good things about it.
I used to read those as a kid. Those books are great.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
There's some really cool stuff they do with the animation. Yeah, it's fun.
And it's on Netflix, right?
It's on Netflix.
That was like, I forgot what it was, but I remember reading those books and thinking I was so cool. They're so edgy.
Nick Kroll is Professor Poopy Pants. He's hilarious.
Okay.
His character is very funny. I saw 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Not 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, never
Cloverfield.
The Cloverfield Paradox.
Okay.
I saw 10 Cloverfield Lane back-to-back nights in theaters when it came out.
Nice.
I think I've already talked about that. We'll talk about Cloverfield Paradox in a bit. And I watched Too Funny to Fail on Hulu, which is a documentary on Hulu about Dana Carvey.
The Dana Carvey Show.
The Dana Carvey Show. Just after Dana Carvey left SNL, kind of what's he going to do next? I was unaware that Dana Carvey was like pretty much the biggest guy in comedy at a moment, like on the cover of Rolling Stone. He was huge. And he started
loved the church lady.
People loved his characters, which is why The Master of Disguise was so great, because the characters.
Right.
But yeah, so the creation of his show and the ultimate utter failure of it.
And the big part about this movie is it's not only Dana Carvey being huge, it was Steve Carell, Stephen Colbert, Louis C.K.,
right,
Dino Stamatopoulos, a bunch of super funny people worked on it.
I can't remember the name of the guy who does like Triumph, the Insult Comic Dog, who is a big part of it. Yeah, it's just all these people who ultimately became much bigger than Dana Carvey as Dana Carvey kind of stepped back in his later years. But just seeing these people all play together early on in their careers before they really broke out was pretty cool. And it's a show that was just so far ahead of its time.
Robert Smigel is Trey.
Robert Smigel. Yeah, the brand of humor is kind of like it's pretty like alternative comedy before alternative comedy was more in the mainstream, and it just did not land with audiences, partially because the show aired the time slot directly after Home Improvement. So it's Home Improvement, and then the very first episode, the very first scene of the show is Dana Carvey playing a President Bill Clinton who's been taking hormone pills and it starts breastfeeding puppies, and he's got a chicken tail, and it's just bizarre and out there, and people hated it. There were people, but it was people loved it. The people who got it loved it, but the actual audience that was really tuning in to that time slot, the family audience, hated it. The critics hated it, and it did not last its first season. But it's become sort of a cult thing because of the people who are in it, and the brand of humor and how that's become more popular. And so that's on Hulu. If you have it, or if you know somebody who has Hulu, strongly recommend watching it.
Yeah, I saw the trailers for this. I still haven't seen it yet, but I saw the trailers for it, and it made me want to watch the show. And so Austin actually got me the entire run of it on DVD. So I've gone back and I've watched the episodes, but I still haven't seen the documentary yet, and I'm very interested. Is it a lot of like behind the scenes stuff from the time, or is it mostly them talking now, reflecting back?
It's a little bit of both. I would say it's mostly them talking about kind of what they were thinking, but there is also a lot of the behind the scenes, like kind of going through the process of them writing some of their skits, a lot of the process of them actually casting the show and shopping it around. Yeah, it's great. It's very good.
Nice.
And then I watched the first 2 episodes with you of the Dana Carvey show, so we'll have to borrow those DVDs.
Yeah. I watched 5 movies this week. I watched Nocturnal Animals because Trey saw it last week and was talking it up. Tom Ford is a pretty good director.
Yeah.
Generally, when you see movies, I'm going to use like Fences as an example, where Denzel Washington was the director. And, it's not super intricate and stuff, but Tom Ford really does a really good job, and kind of being able to put a spin on a classic revenge story while making it more realistic at the same time. It's super good.
It feels like a fashion designer directed that movie, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like the costume, especially like her point of view, the costumes and how things looked, it looked very fashionista. So yeah, you could definitely, it was a very unique perspective, I thought.
And then I saw Edge of Tomorrow as well. Live, Die, Repeat, the Tom Cruise movie. I was super into it until the end. It's just I'm a big fan of world building, like
Yeah.
I've said a bunch, and like the world building's really cool. But as soon as spoiler alert, but kind of as soon as the loop is broken, then I kind of lose it, because then they're just kind of fighting, and it's like, I'm not as interested in this. But I think it's a really good movie, and was definitely underappreciated at the time. Film stars Don't Die in Liverpool. Saw that with Spencer and our girlfriends.
Well, wife, girlfriend.
Yeah. The movie is.
I don't know why I had to correct you on that.
No,
Sorry.
that's okay.
She
you're
is my
worried.
wife.
Yeah. The big thing about it is it kind of seemed from the trailers that it would be kind of focused on them falling in love and stuff, but he kind of loves her immediately,
Right.
without any thing. And it's like, oh, why is this young guy in love with this old lady? It just kind of is.
And it's before he knows who she is.
Right.
It's like as soon as she's flirting, he's like, I've never been flirted with
this.
in my life.
Right.
This is amazing.
Oh, I can relate to that.
So I would skip that. No need to watch that. I watched the Cloverfield Paradox, and then I watched, as my punishment for our Oscars thing, I watched The Mummy.
Yes.
And it's not even the worst movie you watched this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it the worst movie I watched this week, but man, this cinematic universe, this Dark Monsters universe, it is brutal, because this movie, The Mummy, it's basically two movies where there's Tom Cruise being he's in the army this time. It's very similar. I watched it very close to Edge of Tomorrow. It's kind of close, except this time he's in the army, and he's finding these artifacts that are being destroyed in Iraq by ISIS, basically.
ISIS?
But he's like finding them before and selling
The
them on
Swamp
the
Thing, the
on the black
Wolfman,
market.
and ISIS.
Right, yeah. The ISIS is in these movies, the true monsters. But so I started watching the movie, and I was like, what kind of bad movie is this going to be? Because there's kind of certain things that you can tell and be like, oh, this is this kind of bad movie. And so it starts off, and Tom Cruise is kind of looking out over this dune, and then he talks to his sidekick, and his sidekick is Jake Johnson. And it's like, oh, this is going to be that kind of bad movie.
What do I know Jake Johnson from?
He's from New Girl, and...
Oh, is he Schmidt from New Girl? Or
he's
Is
not Schmidt.
he like a comic relief character?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in Jurassic World.
I didn't see
I
that.
don't
He's
know about
in
this.
he's in Let's Be Cops.
Oh, okay, then yeah. He's in Seeking a Friend for the End of the World as the like douchebag guy.
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't seen that.
I'll Google it while you continue.
Yes. Jake Johnson he's just in a bunch of things, and he's just kind of like loud and does kind of sarcastic stuff. And it was that, and it was him and Tom Cruise kind of playing that role. And then he's like a zombie. And the worst part is the universe. Is them trying to set up the Marvel universe. So Tom Cruise releases this mummy, and then as it comes out, it's Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll comes in, and so he's basically Samuel L. Jackson in the Marvel things, and kind of takes him off to the side and takes him to his lab, where you see like a Dracula skull and a Swamp Thing hand.
You're a big scary mummy. Well, why don't you be scary for your country?
Wait, that's how they're doing this?
Yeah.
Monsterverse? Is Dr. Jekyll like the ringleader?
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to a podcast this week, the Comedy Button, which I highly recommend, especially for you two or anyone who wants to listen to that. But they're talking about these classic monsters, and they're just not scary anymore to our audiences. I mean, the Mummy. What's scary about a mummy? What's scary about? You can make a Wolfman scary, but
Yeah.
I mean, they're just not very like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like the if you read the book, it's like he was lewd to a woman, and that was Mr. Hyde. He was kind of rude.
So bad.
He wore his top hat sideways. Oh,
Well,
he scared the public.
in this movie, he's basically the Hulk.
Yeah.
So he kind of hulks out, and so that's
Did
so
Russell
that's
Crowe
that.
go to like
and then
Whataburger after Hulk up?
so they go and they have like 30 minutes of Dr. Jekyll time, and then
Yeah.
it goes back to Mummy stuff. And I want to spoil this.
Do it.
I'm
Go for
going
it.
to.
I don't
it.
care.
And-
I don't care.
So in the end, it's the concept that's laid out by Dr. Jekyll, Russell Crowe, is that death comes in many forms. So it's like the Grim Reaper or
Mhm.
whatever. And so this one's about the Egyptian death god or whatever. And in the end, Tom Cruise, in order to beat the mummy, becomes the death god,
Yes.
essentially. And so he goes and he has this fight within himself so he's like part death god, but he's also part Tom Cruise still,
Part Scientologist.
and also part Scientologist. But it's the exact same bit that is Dr. Jekyll and
Yeah.
Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
So he's doing there's two characters and they're the exact same thing. The worst part about this universe is the casting, honestly, because it's Russell Crowe, it's Tom Cruise, who I know you love, Spencer, but
Right. This is not a
It's-
good Tom
no.
Cruise role.
past his peak.
Yes.
The next one that's coming out is Angelina Jolie as the Bride of
I don't think they're
Frankenstein.
doing it anymore. I thought they're done. I thought they canceled the whole thing.
I think the guys left, but I don't know if they're totally done with it.
It's like they cast this in like 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Johnny Depp as the Invisible
Yep.
Man was
Oh.
supposed to be.
2004.
So if they do go for it, I know two of the main guys that were involved with it.
Like, do you ever get like really
Backed
kind of
out,
nauseous? Do you ever get like really nauseous sometimes, like suddenly, like
Uh,
really
y-
sick?
yeah.
You want to lie down. I got that when you said Johnny Depp.
yeah, so it's pretty brutal. I would not suggest
No.
seeing it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, moving
you.
on.
Thank
One
you for
quick question.
that. No, moving on.
Did they must have done, like, I don't know if they did like market research, but who was like, yeah, they want
Wait.
these monster movies again, and they want them all in the same movie, a la Marvel Cinematic. Like, nobody wants that.
No, I think you could make a really good Frankenstein movie nowadays. But I think they've done that with like artificial intelligent movies.
Yeah,
That's pretty
but-
much what it is. But like a whole Marvel or like a cinematic universe, no one
But
wants
I don't
that.
need Frankenstein
And they-
versus Dracula.
And they did that with Van Helsing like a while ago. That didn't even work. Technically.
I don't know.
It's bad. I mean, they make good vampire movies. They make good Frankenstein-like. Frankenstein is a great work of science fiction if you ever
Mhm.
read the book.
Yeah, Frankenstein's
Yes,
great.
It's amazing. But I mean, yeah, you can make a great Frankenstein movie. I don't think you can make a good mummy movie. I think
No, yeah,
mummies
that's
are-
not the problem. The ability to make one good movie. It's just putting them all
Exactly,
together,
yeah, it's
like, for
dumb.
no reason.
It's artificial, very artificial. And when we get into Cloverfield, one thing I don't like is artificial filmmaking.
So I looked up the Dark Universe. Yeah, the two main dudes left, but they're still going forward with Bride of Frankenstein. And at this point, they don't really have anyone in charge of it. So
Should be another hit.
up
Benicio
in
del
air.
Toro is the Wolfman 2. Make
Mo-
a good werewolf movie. Make Werewolf of Fever Swamp, but for adults, please. That was such a great Goosebumps book.
Oh,
Oh.
I didn't.
Yes.
I
I'm
was
dead serious.
unaware.
Make that movie. But
Be
for
serious,
adults.
everyone.
Yes.
Listen up.
Make it.
Okay,
but do
so
it like American Werewolf in London style with like real effects and makeup. Do it. Guillermo del Toro, get on that shit right now.
Super Bowl trailers, guys.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl's there. That means there's a bunch of trailers that are out. A lot of them they just gave teasers, and then they went and they dropped their full trailers. So you guys, how
That's
do you
sort of
feel?
it's sort of a pattern for the Super Bowl. in
Well, because
general.
you can't. If you have a 2-minute trailer and it's $5 million for 30
Mhm.
seconds,
Yeah, it's a
it's a very expensive.
$20 million trailer.
Mhm.
So how do you guys feel about Skyscraper?
You mean Die Hard?
It's in a tower.
Right. I
I don't.
mean, I'm gonna see it.
You're going to see it?
I'm gonna see
We
it.
have to.
I don't know if I'll see it. I love The Rock. I love stupid action movies, but this I was excited about I saw the poster. I sent y'all the poster. I was like, I'm in. I saw the trailer, and it doesn't look promising because they showed like what's I would guess are going to be all the best action beats
Right.
in the trailer. And the big kicker is he's got a prosthetic leg, which is like, why does he have a prosthetic leg?
Justin Montemayor film.
Yeah.
Essentially, Justin Montemayor, who everyone listening knows.
Yes, everyone here knows who
Is
that
The Rock.
Yes.
It is weird to me that they would be like, hey, here, we'll make this hero with like a prosthetic and, he'll do this. And then he's not limited at all. He's The Rock still. And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to go and I'm going to jump off
And
this
I know
skyscraper in through another skyscraper.
Sort of an issue when it comes to like handicapped characters that there's never a struggle. They've never showed the struggle when they're handicapped, and I think that's like a big complaint you hear from those movies that kind of portray a handicapped hero. There's never any kind of struggle. You need to show that struggle, and they probably won't because it's The Rock and he's badass and he needs to be a cool doctor.
Yeah,
saves the day.
He's got to have no weaknesses.
No weakness.
Yeah, and they do the Fast and Furious car jump just without the car.
Yeah.
It seems like the least original movie. I guess it's not going to quite be like a Triple X, or a Triple X is like a terrible movie, but it's awesome
Right.
because it
Like
knows what it
Commando.
is.
Yeah.
I'm just
I wouldn't even say Commando's a good movie. I apologize that that's a terrible movie.
yeah. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll see. We'll see if future trailers, if it looks like it'll be any more fun. But it could be not. It could be bad action movie that's not fun.
Yeah.
So I have a theory.
Yes.
First of all, did any of you guys see San Andreas?
No, I saw
No.
this Facebook.
Apparently, my wife did. I don't believe her.
Okay. She was the only one who responded. A lot of people saw it. A lot of people liked it. I think The Rock is being... Because I looked it up because I was curious, because I was like, skyscraper, I kind of get the same vibe as San Andreas. So what can The Rock do in a movie that just looks like action with kind of no real plot? It made $155 million domestically, which seems insane.
Mhm.
So I'm going to posit that The Rock is part of a money laundering scheme where no one will call him out on it because he's The Rock. You'd be like, hey, The Rock, these movies aren't making what you say they are.
Mhm.
And then he'll punch you.
He does.
So you don't-
And he's such a nice guy too. and
Right.
He has a great Instagram, and
Well,
he's
so
nice.
He's so nice, but he is so hostile
Yeah.
towards anyone who talks
Oh yeah.
badly
Oh,
about
yeah.
his movies.
Yeah.
So this is how they're
He's a funny
hiding
workout
things.
plan.
Yeah. Let's hear this plan, Adam.
Let's hear it.
his workout plan.
Yeah.
No,
wanna hear
you
it.
said. I thought you said you have a plan. Like, do you
No,
have
the
any
idea
details?
is that
How
they're
does this work?
falsely inflating how much money these movies make. So they're reporting that these movies are making a ton of money or that they're spending it. So Universal says, hey, this movie made $155 million when really it only makes $30 million. So they're able to embezzle $120 worth of profits that they wouldn't have gotten.
There seems like a lot of paper trail
Mhm.
in that type of scheme. So do you think they are paying people to actually go to the theaters?
No, I think The Rock is guarding the papers.
You think The
and
Rock
it's
is putting
because
his money-
he's so big, no one's going to question him.
He's such a nice guy too.
It's
you know?
not because he's a charming action star. It's a scheme.
And
Yes.
what are they laundering for? Like what's
I'm
the
just
dirty
starting to pull
money?
the strings. Eventually, it's going to start to unravel.
Next week on Super FilmsCast,
You're gonna
Adam
see
will have an
Adam.
update.
I'll find out what
He's got
what
a bunch
the
of
deal
papers
is.
and lines. And,
I got the yarn
Yeah.
going from things. Skyscraper
What's-
comes out July 13th.
All right.
What's the Pepe Sylvia?
Exactly. Avengers: Infinity War.
I didn't even see this trailer at all.
I think I saw the first trailer for
Mhm.
this for
I
whatever
saw the
reason.
first one. I didn't see the
watched
thing that
it.
What?
happened on the Super Bowl.
Once and for all. It honestly, it just went through, and it was just a bunch of shots of characters that are going to be in the movie.
I'm so torn between Marvel movies because I don't want to be the guy who's like, these are trash. Because for the most part, they're enjoyable. But I'm also just like, I'm getting sick of people who are just having a hard-on for characters in shots.
Trey, just be the guy who speaks his mind, speaks the truth. And
I
is
gotta
true to
rewatch.
himself.
I kind of want to rewatch them all and give an honest opinion.
That's so many movies.
I know.
It's a bunch.
I know.
You just said you want to slow down with movies, and then you said
You're
I'd like to rewatch
I'm gonna
every
watch
Marvel
All
movie.
of them.
An entire universe.
I kind of do, just to get an honest opinion about it all, because I have that thing with Game of Thrones where it's like, when I watch Game of Thrones, I enjoy Game of Thrones, but when I hear people talk about Game of Thrones constantly, I hate it. I think that might be just a bad character trait I have. I don't know.
See, I think the difference for me is that I don't enjoy the Marvel movies that much. Game of Thrones, I can be like, yeah, this is cool, and I enjoy this a lot. Marvel movies, I find to be mostly pretty middling. Like just like enough above average to be inoffensive.
Yes.
Yeah,
I gotta rewatch some
with
of
a
them.
couple exceptions, like
Iron Man's
here and
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
original Iron
Yeah.
Man was really good. First Guardians of the Galaxy was very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Deadpool. But
Deadpool's great.
That's a
Yeah.
little. The X-Men movies are generally good though.
yeah, and that
Yeah.
was separate
Yeah.
from the cinematic universe until maybe now.
Now
Mission Impossible Fallout.
I didn't catch that trailer.
I saw some of it.
but I'll see that movie.
Yeah, he does Tom Cruise, like, as much as a weirdo he is, he's still an awesome action star.
Yeah,
You know?
the last like couple Mission Impossible movies. I haven't seen all the Mission Impossible movies, but the last couple have been
Mm-hmm.
great for me. They're fun.
This one, he apparently has saved his crew, but is putting the world at risk somehow. And now maybe he's fighting back against the government.
It's kind of like Fast and the Furious.
Something tells me he's gonna have to go rogue.
It's
Ooh.
that's what I like. It's the exact same concept,
Yeah,
right?
Every
Like,
movie, but I don't care. Give me cool action.
He does his own
sequences.
stunts still. It's amazing.
Yeah, like Uma Thurman.
Oh, is that
Bow.
the next news story?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
that is a news story
It
that
is a
came
news
out.
story.
Uma Thurman, Quentin Tarantino made her drive a car that she didn't want to, and she hurt herself. It did a stunt. And then like there's like a Quiet Place, which was kind of before.
That's strange.
It's-
That's not like a Super Bowl trailer
No.
movie for me.
It was
but-
before kickoff, so they probably got
okay.
some sort of discount.
John Krasinski's getting those roles, man.
yeah,
I'm
he's
happy for
Jack
that guy.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Whatever that up.
I
upcoming Jack Ryan
weirdly,
series.
that first few seasons of The Office, I weirdly related to him because there was a girl I liked in school, and she had like a boyfriend. He was bigger than me and mean. So I'm like, I'm kind of like Jim. I'm kind of
Yeah.
like Jim a little bit. I'm happy he's getting his due.
And then Solo, a Star Wars story. The movie's so nice they made it twice.
General impression
Yeah.
looks really serious. I thought it was gonna be a fun buddy cop romp, but you know what though? I said after last Star Wars movie, hey, it's Star Wars. It's
They
gonna
could
be fun.
always reshoot it again.
Yeah,
and make it
they
more
could.
fun.
It's gonna be Star Wars. It's gonna be fun. There's gonna be Chewbacca. There's gonna be the Kessler. The Red Letter Media.
So good.
That is amazing. Yes, that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Basically, before it dropped, they kind of guessed
Predicted it.
everything.
Yeah.
of it. I mean, they were very generic about
Yeah.
what was going to be in it.
Oh,
but
it's Han.
yeah. Woody Harrelson's in it.
Kind of
Donald,
looked like Viggo Mortensen a little bit. I thought it was Viggo Mortensen for a second.
Really?
Where he like kind of does the wave. I thought that was kind of him for a little bit. I didn't
Donald
think it was
Glover
him.
looks cool.
Dude, he looks
Mhm.
badass. I think people are really excited for Donald Glover as Lando, and I am too. And I think that's going to be a big selling point.
Yeah, that's a great casting
Yes.
call.
Yes.
So how would you rank those movies out of how bad you want to see them?
Oh, Solo's number one. It's still number one.
Yeah, I think Solo's number one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Solo number one.
Hell, I don't know.
What were
number
the other
two-
ones?
Skyscraper, Infinity War, Mission Impossible.
Probably Mission Impossible, then Quiet Place, and then I don't want to see the other two. Really,
I wanna see-
Skyscraper probably, and then Infinity War.
I'll probably see Infinity War.
I don't give a crap about
Yeah.
freaking Infinity War.
I don't know.
The thing is, these are probably Solo, Skyscraper, maybe not Skyscraper. Solo, Avengers, Mission Impossible are probably ending up in the top 10, 15 at the box office at the end of the year.
I don't remember the last Mission Impossible movie I saw. I think it might have been 2, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's some of the later ones are interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like it's not like super inventive or anything. It's just super. I don't think they're essential to go watch at home, but they're really fun popcorn movies to see in the theater.
Some other stuff that came out. Tom Hanks, he's going to play Mr. Rogers in a movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves Tom Hanks.
Are we getting a little too Tom Hanks out?
No. Tom Hanks is great. Why would you need less Tom Hanks?
Here's my thing. He just plays himself. He needs to maybe just spice it up a little bit, man. Do some weird stuff.
Mr. Rogers in Freaky? Isn't Freaky Deaky enough
He's supposed
for
to
you?
be like the nicest guy in the world. This is going to be like about him giving to charity or something.
Did you see Bridge of Spies?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I didn't. I need to see that.
He's very good in Bridge of
Okay.
Spies.
I need to watch Bridge of Spies.
He's got a face and
he is amazing.
Yeah, he's very good.
I'm not saying we don't need any more Tom Hanks. I'm saying, buddy, maybe do something out of your comfort zone. You know, mix it up a little bit. Play a stripper or something.
But
maybe
I
don't know.
Maybe studios don't want to give him roles that are not Tom Hanks roles.
No, that's very true.
It's a point. He's at a point in his career where it's like, he's kind of gonna
tried and true. He's the guy you can sell the movie, and he's your American leading man.
Yeah.
Cloverfield 4 already done filming.
Yeah, October,
it's the
right?
World War II movie.
Is it already done filming, or have they filmed another movie and they're going to put Cloverfield shit in it?
Well, that's kind of what they're... I mean, that's not how it goes.
Man, this movie sucks. Let's make it a Cloverfield movie.
I think they do that. They get the script and then they retcon.
They rewrite the script.
Yeah, that's what they do with video. That's what Nintendo does with their video games. Let's put Mario in it. Fuck it.
Yeah, but it worked great with 10 Cloverfield Lane. So the
we'll
method
talk,
is not
We'll talk about
Cloverfield
a little bit later.
Let's put Mario in it. We can't sell otherwise.
Black Panther. Octavia Spencer bought out a theater in Mississippi for poor kids to see it.
That's awesome.
Do we want to do our...
Is that the one with the video of the school dancing?
No, it's not that one, but that's a great video.
That's so good. Like, I'm so sad I didn't go to that school. That school was lit.
Are we going to do our dilly prediction right here? You want to do that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So Trey laid this down, and we came up with a little bet.
Yeah.
We're the bet podcast.
Now, I'm just for the sake of the bet, I'll pick this one side, but I feel like you could be right as well. For the bet, I say that the Black Panther will be the highest grossing Marvel movie. Opening weekend.
Of all time.
You say all time. I could see all time, but for the sake of the bet, I'll do opening weekend, you'll do all time. I don't think it will pass all time.
Wait, no, that's not...
What?
No, you're saying the opening weekend will be the biggest opening weekend of all time.
Yes.
Yes.
But you say the highest Marvel movie ever, right?
No, I'm saying opening weekend.
Oh, okay. You're not saying...
I'm saying, yes, it will not pass the original Avengers on opening weekend.
Okay. You don't think it will pass. I'm saying it will pass. You say it won't pass.
I say it will not.
Okay.
So...
Okay. I think it will, because I think that... You're gonna get the comic book fans, and you're also gonna get the African American fan who doesn't really care for Marvel. Because I mean, I know this is a very, very, very small sample size, but I remember hearing Donovan Lewis saying, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna see that."
Yeah, is definitely an underserved market, and they are quote unquote doing it for the culture. But
Twitter's friggin' pumped for this movie.
Yeah. But the Avengers made so much money.
Right.
I don't think so. So our bet that I came up with is because I think we're both gonna go see. I'm gonna go see Black Panther.
Yeah, I'll see it.
Yes.
Originally,
I'll see it.
So we'll go, and then after opening weekend, if Black Panther passes or does not pass the Avengers, one of us will go into the theater, go see Black Panther again. Wait until there's a quiet little moment, a very tense moment in Black Panther, and yell "Dilly Dilly."
Now, are we going to stipulate this has to be like a Friday 7:30 showing, a Saturday showing, or because ideally for this to be truly punishment, it should be a pretty full auditorium.
But when there's a full auditorium, it could be anyone. If there's only a few people,
just not empty.
Yeah, I mean,
there should be
you're gonna go.
It's a good number of people.
Still gonna be a pretty popular. Like people are going to be going to this movie
Yeah.
for a
Wow.
while. And then
Now,
one of us going to be yelling dilly dilly.
With a sandwich board, right?
No sandwich board.
all right, and also you have to. Well, I would like to be there when you do this, but we will not sit next to you. I will not sit next to you.
Oh. All right.
Sorry. Well, I'm saying it to you, Trey,
Why are you saying it to me?
because I don't think this is going to pass a vengeance.
Oh no,
But
Spencer putting the kiss of death on my bet.
Yeah.
we're talking about. I've only lost one bet ever.
Yeah, but your predictions, not always.
My-
Speaking of, we're doing our box office stuff.
I won, right? Yeah, I guessed Jumanji, and that like. that's
No, you
killing
did
me.
not guess Jumanji.
Trey, you fuzzy memory, Trey.
Jumanji was number one
It was.
at the box office again, $11 million. Maze Runner, $10 million. Winchester, $9.2 million. So overall, a horrible
I
week
can't wait for the Jumanji sequel.
at the box office. Yeah, that
Wonder what they're gonna do
Jumanji
for
sequel.
that.
I'm sure it's already coming.
It'll be VR.
So we all picked
I don't know if this was VR. Actually, I didn't see the movie. So go on. Sorry.
Maze Runner first.
Mhm.
Maze Runner came in second. Trey, you picked Hostile second, which did not place in the top three.
I'm stupid.
Spencer and I picked Winchester, and then Spencer picked 12 Ponies. I picked Jumanji.
Damn.
So I won that this week. So now year to date, Spencer 2, Adam 2, Trey 1. So this week, coming out, there is the 1517 to Paris. Oh yeah, 50 Shades Freed
Hey.
and Peter Rabbit.
Oh.
So I got it right. I'm going first. Give me the 50 Shades Freed.
Spencer's gonna see it 50 times.
Yeah, oh crap, I have to see 50 Shades.
2 hot dogs in one hand.
Oh, I gotta see
In one hand.
You,
One
you
hand.
can't add on all these additional stipulations after the fact. I'll go 50 Shades as well.
I'll go 50 Shades.
All right.
Spencer.
I'm going Peter Rabbit.
I'm also gonna go Peter Rabbit.
I'll go Peter Rabbit.
All right. Give me the 1517 to Paris.
Yeah, I'll go 15-17 to Paris.
Give me Jumanji.
Ooh. And then I'm going Jumanji.
I am going to go No one's gonna see Maze Runner again. It already lost out to
might.
Jumanji.
Maybe you can bet on the 12 Ponies.
But on the ponies all the time.
Oh God! Just a moment, please. I want to see just what other movies are straggling out there. Jumanji has been out for like 3 months.
Yeah.
It's insane. Gosh. Sorry, guys.
Jumanji.
Give me the
Let's-
what are the options again?
Coming out this week, we already did 50 Shades Freed, 1517 to Paris, Peter Rabbit, and then last week, Jumanji, Maze Runner, and Winchester,
Gosh.
in that order.
I'll go Maze Runner, whatever.
Okay.
I don't feel confident in it, but
Cool.
I just can't believe Jumanji will make any substantial money again.
Okay.
People love The Rock. People love Jack Black being a woman.
Jack Black being a woman, there is a little pop figure. We were at GameStop the other day. and
Yes.
saw-
You guys had a hell of a weekend.
yeah, we went and we got our Super Bowl pedicures.
Yeah. Went
Mhm.
to GameStop, watched some Liverpool movie.
Yeah.
So wait, what'd you see the figure? The Jack Black woman figure?
Yeah, Jack Black as a woman, as
A man.
a man.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yes.
That's high class comedy right there.
So let's talk Cloverfield Paradox.
Yeah, it
The
came out.
Cloverfield Paradox. It was announced at the Super Bowl, released after the game. As soon as it dropped, people were excited the whole time.
Yeah.
We watched it, and initial thoughts.
I'm glad they released it on Netflix.
Yeah, it's definitely it's interesting where I think we've been getting to the point where straight to Netflix is the new straight to DVD.
Well,
But there are not DVDs.
But they're wanting it to be a step above.
because Martin Scorsese's movie The Irishman is supposed to be straight to Netflix, and that's you
Right.
hope it's not going to be bad.
Right, you hope, but you look at what's been released,
Yeah.
and it's not great.
No.
As far as their big pictures, obviously they have a lot of good IP that are fun, good, like typically series. As far as original movies, it's been big budget, and then I mean,
I'm really worried about
my opinion of the movie is a little bit. It's more positive than Adam's. I thought the movie was like bad, but I still had fun watching it. It's a bad movie, but it's a straight to DVD movie.
Yeah.
But it's kind of an interesting thing. Whereas people have a pretty positive perception of Netflix overall, but more and more they're kind of losing that credibility as far as producing good content when the hit rate is lowered.
The way I look at it, this is going to be so niche for people.
Explain the movie, though.
Well, we'll get to the movie. Let's talk about Netflix a little bit.
Okay.
I see them kind of like the Dallas Mavericks acquisitions, where they're able to turn super low-level free agents into really good, solid role players, but they can't get
the big guy.
the big thing. The best thing that Netflix is doing right now is giving a way for people to see independent movies and smaller movies without a budget.
Like Trailer Park Boys, was that like
It was a Canadian.
Yeah, so like it's great for like discovering shows and movies and stuff like that you would not see. Yeah, it's great for that.
Right.
But I'm really worried about The Irishman.
I wouldn't be concerned about The Irishman just yet, just because it's Scorsese.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be crazy.
Right. And The Irishman has been Scorsese all along, whereas this was like written, directed, produced, whatever. It was made, and then they just bought it.
Yeah, right.
So this was not like,
That's the
Netflix
thing
start to
is,
finish.
we talked about it a few months ago, how Netflix was going to start picking up movies in production hell.
Yeah.
As that was what it was deemed. And that they were going to go in and they were going to buy these movies that they were stuck with a bunch of rewrites and all these kind of things. But what they did with this movie, Cloverfield Paradox, is they bought it once it was completed and just released it as a distributor, basically. If it's going to work, they need to buy these movies while they're still in production and kind of help tool it to use the on-demand platform that they have.
A lot of times, development hell, not all the time, but a lot of times that means it's not very good in general.
Yeah, movies get shelved for a reason.
It's like all these games again, but it's like all these games that are, they put them on Kickstarter. And, the reason why it's being Kickstarter because no one really wanted that game
Nobody
anyway.
wanted to fund it.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to look at it.
There's exceptions, but yeah.
Yeah, you want to look at it like these production companies are just like evil and killing creativity, when in reality, like they probably have a pretty good idea of this is going to be a good movie, this will make money, this will be bad, this will not make money. And obviously, like you said, there are exceptions where it could be this is a truly good story that needs to be made and it's just being hindered. But probably, a lot of them are just like movies that would not fit well as a theatrical release.
It felt a lot, this movie, I guess we can start talking about the movie. So the Cloverfield Paradox, which I think also, sorry, I'm going on a million different directions. I think it can still be a win for Netflix that they bought it, because they got a big name franchise, and they were able to do something cool with it with the Super Bowl,
right?
And they got a ton of hype off of it.
The strategy of the release, awesome.
Yeah,
that's a really cool thing they did. It's very novel, and like I went and watched a movie directly after the Super Bowl that I didn't even know it was coming out, and I watched it immediately.
Right.
That's really cool. Yeah.
And so if it was a movie, the one that I would compare it to would be Life, the Ryan Reynolds, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Event Horizon is another one we're talking about.
Movies like that where if those get released in the theater, you kind of get critics that see it a little early and you hear bad things and then you're not going to watch it.
Yeah.
And so this was a way to get it in front of people with no misconceptions about it. And boy, is it a mess of a movie.
Yeah.
It felt like, you mentioned Life and Event Horizon.
Yeah.
It felt like 6 movies, then those movies did it
100%.
way better.
Yes.
It felt like Event Horizon. It felt like The Thing. It felt like Alien. It felt like any kind of space horror movie, space, sci-fi horror, anything like that.
Right. There's some like really cool.
Yes.
Jumping a little bit ahead, like there are some really cool things that you get that are kind of like the like alien, like space horror kind of genre.
Mhm.
Like the sequence of they just jumped into space. Again, this is jumping ahead. This is kind of a little bit spoiler land. They just jumped into the different dimension and they're hearing the screams in the corridors. Like that's always going to be a little bit spooky.
Right.
And it turns out it's like there's mysteriously this woman trapped in one of the panels.
Right.
That's great to me. Like that sequence is awesome.
There's a series of like, because the beginning is so bad. It is exposition dump, like crazy when they're in the car. Then there's kind of a cool sequence to get them ahead and into space for a little while, where our main lady is there, and she's been in space for a little bit. And
Hamilton.
Then,
and is her name? And the actress's name is like Goo.
Yeah.
The acting was not bad.
No, I don't think the performances
Yeah.
were bad. I think the characters had no definition outside of Chris O'Dowd is like, I'm kind of funny guy.
Sunshine or Sunshine or the solar one with the guy from 28 Days Later, where it's the sun and they're trying to recharge the sun. What was that? Sunshine or
are you talking about another
I think
movie?
it might just be called
movie.
Sunshine.
Yeah, I think that it reminded me of that as well, especially with the ending. It turned into a pretty much a monster movie at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
So then they go and then they have a scientist basically explain everything that's about to happen.
Conspiracy theory
right,
guy,
right before it happens.
Yeah.
And that is 100% a rewrite where they were
let's get into that.
People need to understand what this is.
Yeah. That was I don't like that it's so foreshadowing. Read my book. This is something bad's going to happen. Like I would rather be optimistic the whole time and then explain, "Oh no, we know we figured out, like we can kind of figure out what has happened and it's bad, catastrophic repercussions," rather than terrible things can happen. And then throughout the entire movie, they're trying to figure out what happened, and they're like, "I've got no idea. None of this makes sense."
Right.
Which is like super frustrating after a while that you get, I don't know why this is happening. Nothing makes sense anymore. A lot.
And you also had that story on Earth, which just did not fit
Not at all.
And like I think you could have you add that to make it like Cloverfieldy, and I think you could have had it and had a little bit more feel, but it's like I don't know why they don't just like tiptoe into it, because then that just makes it empty and confusing. Either really develop that storyline or don't have it at all.
Yeah. So basically how this movie got made, kind of like 10 Cloverfield Lane.
I didn't realize this about 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah,
either.
that it's a totally separate movie, and that the scripts get passed around Hollywood. It came to Bad Robot and J.J. Abrams, and they said, "Oh, this is cool. Let's make it a Cloverfield movie."
Right.
And so this is why they're in this bunker.
Yeah, because like with 10 Cloverfield Lane, it takes a movie that like would have been a good movie without it being Cloverfield,
right?
But it wouldn't have been like $150 million movie,
right?
So that was genius on their part without compromising the movie. This would have been the same, probably just as bad a movie.
I wonder
way.
where in production those two movies inserted Cloverfield, because it seems like, and maybe 10 Cloverfield Lane, maybe I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because I really enjoyed that movie. Maybe they did that during the script writing where they're like, okay, we can kind of do this naturally, or it wasn't even, because it was the ending, so it didn't feel too abrupt.
And a little bit at the beginning when she's like or you start to hear
Yeah.
bad things are happening.
Mhm. This one seemed a little bit more like we just finished the movie and now let's put all this Cloverfield stuff in here.
Yeah, like with 10 Cloverfield Lane, it's so loosely connected.
Yeah.
You could tell they could just bookend it.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the universe. But this is like trying to be so intertwined with like the original movie at least, that you can tell a lot more that this was kind of retconned.
Yeah.
So it starts off with those real clunky scenes off the top that are kind of rewritten, and then it has its main story is based around they're running out of energy on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so they have like a giant hadron collider, essentially, to split atoms or do whatever to make a ton of energy and send it to Earth.
Yes, and they use it, and it's never really clear where they think they just moved, and then they're in another dimension. And I think the thing for me is they wanted it to be Alien, The Thing, and then they wanted it to be another dimension kind of movie.
Right.
Because it was like, wait, is there a monster on board? Is there like the hands being cut off and it's like it moves? It's like,
but it's funny that they take the hand thing and they make it funny.
Right.
I don't. Why?
Which I kind of like. I'm cool with the. We don't know where we are. We're lost. Okay, that's cool. That creates some suspense. It's like not super inventive, but I like it. And then finding out that you've jumped dimensions, I'm cool with all of that. That's all cool and pretty inventive to me.
Trying to get back.
Yeah,
all that.
I like that kind of the
something going on with the ship, like Event Horizon's cool. You know, all that is cool.
It's cool, and then it goes into a series of vignettes of wouldn't it be cool if this? Wouldn't it be cool if this? And the first 3 I think are really cool. There's the lady in the wall.
Yeah. Yes.
The guy throwing up the worms.
Yeah. That was with the
eye thing
is so
good. So I was like, the beginning's clunky, but this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The arm thing, which I think I enjoyed, even though it's tonally different than the whole rest of the movie. But then it's just like, oh, what if she's like drowning in space and then it becomes ice? Oh, what if, he has this magnet putty and then magnets go crazy? What if the foosball table starts spinning real fast
and then changes colors? It changed. The players changed colors for some reason.
Because it's a different dimension. I don't know.
Jumping back a little bit to the things talking about just things that I liked. So they find the lady in the wall, and then it like cuts to a picture of the crew, and she's in the picture.
Yeah.
Loved that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Just gets you questioning what the heck is happening. Starts to make you kind of question, like, who is this woman? Like, do you trust this woman? That's really good. But yeah, like you said, it starts to get off the rails.
Yeah.
Like with the arm thing, like that's fun. And that's kind of when they realize like, oh, we can just play around with stuff. And then, stuff starts to happen for no reason.
And the characters are all the same.
And they're all reacting to these crazy things in the most non-believable way at all.
They're just this woman is just like, no, I was part of this and you shouldn't trust this guy that you've been on board with for 2 years. And they're just like, we shouldn't trust him. You're right.
And even still, like, I do like that as a concept of, in this world, the German character is an asshole.
Yes.
Traitor. That's cool.
I like it. I just wish there was a little more resistance.
Yeah.
Or like discovery. There's a lot of things that they're just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And they're just running around yelling. This is one of like the craziest uses of just like the gyro. Like just crazy mumbo speak. Just they know what it means, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was a C-tier sci-fi movie, and I mean, I would have liked it a lot more if I didn't realize they just kind of Frankenstein this into being a Cloverfield movie. It's like, okay, it's a sci-fi weird Netflix movie. It's I mean, if it wasn't a Cloverfield movie, I'm not saying that Cloverfield has this pedigree or anything, but just I think I put it on the Letterboxd. I put it like a 2.5.
That's what I gave it.
And then I started realizing it was Frankenstein. It wasn't even meant to be a Cloverfield because it doesn't make really any sense in the Cloverfield universe as far as time and anything.
Well, it. I guess maybe that's why they went so off the rails as to justify. And also it introduced all these crazy monsters to the
It's
world.
in a different dimension.
Yeah.
Which is kind of something that they've brought up, is that all the Cloverfield movies are kind of the same, but it all happens in different timelines or dimensions.
So I don't know. This is a weird example, but this is what I kept thinking of. This is a very odd example, but I remember watching the special features for American Pie 2. And
I'm interested in this.
And I just remember, because I liked the movie. I was in high school.
They tried it with cherry, and then they tried it with apple, and they got the best squish out of apricot.
I remember, though, they had written the movie one way, shot everything, and then realized, like 3 different storylines did not work. So they just reshot the storylines, did a whole different story, and then put it in the movie. And it's like, that's not how you're supposed to make a movie. You're supposed to have a consistent...
I don't know. The biggest movie franchise in the world just did that with a movie that people are very excited to see.
Star Wars.
Yeah. And Kathleen Kennedy still has a job. It blows my mind.
So Cloverfield paradox.
Yes.
The end, I feel there's like the really big kind of climaxes at the end where the mysterious woman who showed up in the wall is running around with the gun that was 3D printed,
right,
and just shooting everybody.
Yeah.
That's all so bad. Like,
well,
you're not going to get away with this. Bang. You're not going to get away with this.
It was bad in that movie. That's what they did in that movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing. It was a great movie until it's a guy chasing him.
It's like they're just like, I don't know how we can get this. Have her run around, kill a few people. One of them survives. Ultimately, the good guy wins. And then they are able to get the Hadron Collider to work.
The most famous actor of them all lives at the end.
Right. And that's all really clunky. But some people didn't like the final sequence of the gigantic. Well, the monster is much bigger now.
Yes.
There are obviously several monsters, so maybe this is a different one.
Or maybe it was a baby in the first one and grew up.
I did really like the like, tell them not to come back.
Yeah.
Right. They're like, there's nothing we can do. Like, tell them not to, like that's good.
On its own is a cool moment.
Yeah.
That would work in a movie. Like, it's almost like they came up with the idea for that moment, and they based that whole Earth,
right,
the whole Earth plot line around it.
Yeah.
And because the whole Earth thing, and it's shot like, you're supposed to be like, what's going on? But because it has the Cloverfield name on it, and you have seen Cloverfield, or you know what it's about. So it's kind of...
Yeah, so for me, I could easily look at the movie in 2 different ways based on the way it turned out, whereas there were a bunch of really cool ideas and concepts that I liked a lot, but the rest of the movie was executed so poorly that the final product was kind of incoherent and not great. So I can look at that as totally missed opportunity, very bad, or some cool concepts. I had fun, and ultimately I think it's a very like 2 or 2.5 star movie for me, where I had fun. I liked the ideas enough that they kind of make me think about what they were doing, but finished product was not great.
Yeah, I gave it a 1 just because I feel like I'm more apt to put movies higher up. It's more of a problem with the way I see grades given out than me absolutely hating this movie. Like a 1 would be it's in the bottom 20%. A 1 out of 5 is in the bottom 20% of movies I see, and I think it probably as a finished product is.
Yeah.
I think there are redeemable moments in it. It may even be if you just want something to have on, like it costs you nothing.
No. Again,
so
I give it credit. I mean, they didn't put it in theaters.
Right.
They put it on Netflix, and it costs nothing, and it's an hour and 40 minutes of your day, and it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not offensively bad. It's not cringeworthy. It's just it's like you said, a missed opportunity.
Okay.
I think I gave it like 1.5. I gave it 2.5 originally. Then I'm like, wait a minute, they just stitched this together, didn't they? And put it at 1.5 because I did not like that.
So no fun scoring system on this one.
Oh,
How many watts did they end up? Was it like 400? They needed 240.
They needed. They needed like 210. He's like, I could recirculate the air and make this 240.
Yeah, so 240
let me do math here.
watts.
Out of 240, I'll give it 90 out of 240.
I give it a 30 out of 240.
I'm dividing it up because I always get effed with this. So 240 divided by 5 is 48. So a 1 would be 48. So I'm going to give it a 48, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
There you go.
We
No
got-
more inconsistencies, Krista Fields.
We got
I
Twitter
did math.
questions?
We do. Do you want to do suggestions first? What
Sure.
movies?
Oh yeah.
If you have a suggestion, please tweet us at CrayTreyVids or at the Fullertron or at Coach Chucky,
Yeah.
and we'll watch your movies you want to suggest to us maybe one day.
Yeah.
All right. So I did not. I was recommended last week, Seven Samurai. Still haven't found time to watch that.
It's okay.
I feel like I need to watch that at home, not at work where I'm distracted because there's subtitles.
Yeah.
So I definitely need
It's a good call.
Yeah. And then the jerk. I feel like I've seen the jerk. I'll watch it again. I think I've seen that. Oh no.
Oh, God.
Oh God. You
Connor,
want to let him in here?
Connor Risenhoover.
Connor of GamesCast fame is here.
Hey, Connor.
Hey Connor.
Crossover.
Get him
And
on.
Austin.
He doesn't want to
Austin-
get on the
You guys
mic.
want to get on the mic? Get on the mic. You're here. That one.
Yeah, get him on.
How you doing, Connor?
Oh, no, he's falling.
Oh,
he fell
God.
over.
And Austin is just
Yeah. He's here
meter-
too.
meters away.
Yeah.
Hey, how many liters did you drink today?
How many liters?
Yeah.
Liter of cola.
3?
How many grams do you weigh?
What's
Oh.
up, Connor?
Net.
Ooh.
I
How many
don't know.
stone? How many stone do you weigh?
I weigh about Treys down.
How many hands tall are you?
My hands are President Donald Trump's hands.
Oh,
Wow.
Sorry, Connor. I know y'all don't get as racy as we do and hot with the.
Only when Trey does his Donald Trump impression.
Speaking of, it's been a while.
We're joined right now.
It's been a while since I've been
Ooh.
staying
Not what I was.
on my own too.
All right.
How can I do it?
We have to try to get out
Yeah, we gotta get going.
because of Trey.
He needs to work.
Yeah, Connor. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
I did watch the Super Bowl.
Did you see the Cloverfield stuff?
I did.
Are you interested at all?
I liked the first Cloverfield. I didn't see Cloverfield Lane, and I've heard that this one is awful.
Yeah, see Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, I
Cloverfield
see
Lane's
that.
great. This
Yeah.
new one is garbage.
I've heard this one's really bad.
Yeah, watch Cloverfield Lane first, and then if you are bored and have watched everything else on Netflix,
If you
might
want to
as
have
well
something
watch
on in
this
the
one.
background while you're playing Civ,
There we go.
they're
Yeah,
This
this
guy's
is a-
speaking my language.
Yeah, hey.
Great.
This guy's knows his audience.
All right.
So Trey, my suggestion for you this week is The Princess Bride,
Okay.
which you
Yeah.
somehow haven't seen.
No, I've not seen all of it. I've seen like the first half. I think I've seen like to the point where the one guy loses the bet and gets poisoned. I always forget his name, but it's the,
Vicini.
yeah.
Do his voice.
I can't.
Try it.
No.
Come on. Come on now.
All right.
You can.
What does he say?
Inconceivable.
What does he say? Inconceivable.
That's perfect.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's great. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Um,
your suggestion for Trey, Spencer?
I'm actually gonna suggest y'all both watch. It's a twofer. Mad Max and Road Warrior.
Okay, Road Warrior.
Pretty much,
Oh.
pretty much only recommending you watch Mad Max so you can get to Road Warrior.
Okay.
Because Road Warrior is awesome.
Okay.
Mad Max is good, not as awesome
Okay.
as Road Warrior.
All right.
I recommend you watch the Emoji movie again.
Go to hell.
suggested
let me
it.
See here.
you
You
did
have to watch it.
yeah, if you give us a 5-star review.
Yeah.
Hey,
Till
Connor,
I give a
how about
5-star
you? How about you throw a review on that?
You know what? I know someone who has a different last name than me who would be more than willing to review this podcast to get Trey to watch the Emoji movie again.
Who was that?
I can't reveal.
Hmm.
Her name is Jessica.
I
I bet there's like a lot of people that have different last names.
that you know. Mostly, several
Adam,
Resident Hoovers.
Yes.
have you seen
true.
Barton Fink?
I have not seen Barton Fink.
I want you to watch Barton Fink.
That is one that I've been
Cool.
meaning to see.
Yes, you will like Barton Fink. I think Connor, or I think Spencer, you will too. But let me get something else.
Oh yeah,
for you.
Adam, did you recommend a movie for me?
Spencer, you need to watch Doctor Strangelove.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Stanley
Yes.
Kubrick. Oh boy, it's gonna feel. You know who would really like Doctor Strangelove?
Would I?
Oh yeah, he
Donald
would.
Trump.
Yeah, he
The
would.
Russians.
Oh, it's all about nukes, and it's
It is. It's
very
funny.
scary, and it totally changed the way that our nuclear system is run,
Yep.
which is not a joke. It is
It's-
a comedy movie that they were like, hey, that is
No
kind of dumb.
fighting in the war room. No
it's
great.
fighting in the war room.
Dr. Strangelove is on archive.org.
Yes.
It's in its entirety, so you can just watch it.
Cool. Yeah, is it one of those like cultural pod movies, or it's like deemed, or it's like it's in the National Archives,
Yeah. Right.
deemed as
It still holds up, 100% though. It's
It's-
still really funny.
It's very fun.
Yes.
yeah.
Is
You
it
know, have
funnier
you ever
than
seen
the
the guy
Emoji movie?
running a nuke?
What was that, Connor?
What did you say, Connor?
Is it funnier than the Emoji movie?
Well, I have
So
not
I
seen
recommend
it.
Barton Fink for you.
Only
Adam.
one of us has seen both of those
Yeah.
movies.
Would the bomb emoji like it?
Spencer, you know what? This is for both of you too, if you want to watch it. But I'll kind of do a twofer, I guess. I'll recommend The Invitation for you, even though I think you both should see it. It's on Netflix. It's a movie that came out in 2015. It's really good, really
Okay.
suspenseful. The Invitation.
Tell me about it real quick.
Yeah, what?
So I'll read a synopsis.
Synopsis. Let's hear it.
Will and his new girlfriend Kira are
Oh, I
invited
see
to a
what
Oh,
you're
dinner.
get it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
great. Another Akira.
Akira.
Akira, you have to watch Akira. They're invited to a dinner with old friends at the house of Will's ex, Eden, and her new partner, David. Boyfriend, David. I don't know whether he's partner. Because partner, it signifies something else sometimes. Although,
it's
I don't know.
not
I always
incorrect.
get confused
That's
with
the
word
twist.
partner.
use
Although
the,
the evening
use the men's
appears,
restroom. Damn it.
Although the evening appears to be relaxed, Will soon gets a creeping suspicion that their charming host David is up to something. It's pretty much like you go over
Generic.
you go over to a house. Let's say you haven't seen Austin Guttery in a long time.
Right.
You go over to his house, and he's got a new girlfriend, and her girlfriend is really into Scientology
Okay.
or some other cult.
Gotcha.
We've
that.
all been there before.
And he
Interesting.
sees, it's really good. It's really creepy. The guy from
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 Fart?
Fargo.
The guy from
No. The husband from Fargo. He's also in Zodiac. He's a very large man, balding.
I know who you're talking
He
about.
plays. He's so good at playing creepy, and he plays creepy in this really well.
Cool.
Okay.
He's
Is-
in that.
You said it's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. The Invitation. So
Cool.
Barton Fink in The Invitation.
Yeah. Yeah, Barton Fink is awesome.
Yes.
Really like Barton.
Yes, you need to see Barton Fink.
Okay.
Adam,
Twitter
you
question.
need to see Barton Fink.
I'll watch it.
Adam, do you have the Twitter questions up?
Yeah, but
Oh, you got it. You do it this time.
some asshole says, what would you pay for a movie called Black Han Solo, starring Donald Glover and written by Jordan Peele?
That would be called Lando, not Black
It was
Han
Connor
Solo.
Risenhoover who
God
asked that
damn it,
question.
Connor.
Look, I like to imagine a world where you guys saw the trailer. It looks not good. That movie does not look good. Am I wrong?
It looks totally
I think
too serious.
the trailer looks okay. Knowing everything I know about the background, I'm not as excited as
So
I
let's
would
take-
be otherwise.
Donald Glover, who I think will be the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
I
let's
would
just
agree.
let's just rebrand him Black Han Solo.
Why don't you just make a Lando movie?
No. I mean, why
Oh, you
why
just
can't he be?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, just have him
okay.
be Han Solo.
Exactly.
I'm down with that.
Oh, what would be better is if they didn't call it Black Han Solo, they just called it Solo, and just
Had
They-
him in it.
they made him Han Solo, but
Right.
they never addressed that he's black now.
I'm in.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
I'm into that. Sort of like was it a Night of the Living Dead or, man,
The Room, maybe?
No. It was I think it was Night of the Living Dead.
Shaft.
One of the first zombie movies, and their actor, the guy did not write the movie to have an African American lead, but they casted an African American lead, and it was kind of controversial because he was
Black.
It was very well. Yeah, it was in the '60s, and so like he was doing things black actors didn't really do back in the day.
Like
And-
talk.
Yeah. Oh, and like he slapped a white woman. Like he was doing a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
different things. Yeah. And it was like today you watch that and you're like, oh, it's just a movie. And
just
but
a
back
guy slapping a woman.
Just
no
slapping a woman.
problem.
Who
Just domestic.
cares?
It's just domestic violence.
But no, it was like she was being frantic and he had to get her under control.
Okay.
It's okay. If it's zombies, it's okay. But like I think that would be interesting to just not even write it as it's just Han Solo and you're just gonna cast a black dude in it. Just just do it. Who
colorblind.
cares?
Just
Yeah.
do it.
Who
Exactly.
fucking cares? It's the best actor. Do it.
Any more
He
questions?
probably is the best actor in that whole damn movie.
Damn it.
Well, Woody Harrelson.
Harrelson's pretty awesome, but yeah.
But
More-
Fig Newtons asks, do you think the idea of ghosts moaning actually came from children hearing sex noises at night from their parents, and the parents in turn denying hearing anything the following morning?
that might be the best question
I
we've
really
ever gotten.
like
I like it.
I think he figured it out.
You're on
Yeah.
to something.
You are.
Eric, dig deeper, please.
You got to get to
We
the
need
bottom
to
of this.
know.
Bits Are Fun asks, have you seen any other Alex Garland movies besides Ex Machina? Sunshine?
Yeah, Sunshine's really
The
good.
Beach?
I've not seen The Beach.
Thoughts? Which
I've
I
not
think is
seen
just in
Thoughts.
general. How did
Not
you like
seen
Sunshine?
I liked it a lot. It is a cool science fiction movie. It is sort of like the movie we just watched, Cloverfield
Mhm.
Lane, but a little better. The ending
Paradox.
is kind of bad, but it's good. It's a little bit like Interstellar as well.
Uh-huh.
They're trying to save the world by going out to space and doing something.
What is the best movie set on a space station?
2001.
Yeah.
It's
On a space station.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
2001 is my answer.
2001.
2001's great.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that's just a very safe answer. Though.
yeah, I think Gravity's really good.
Yeah.
Um,
There's
know.
some other really good
I wouldn't-
space movies.
there's
Alien.
Alien
Yeah.
would be
Alien.
an obvious one.
Mhm.
What's that Chris Pratt movie where he falls asleep and
Yeah.
then he wakes
Next
up?
question.
Passengers.
Next question.
That's up there.
Next question.
When he wakes up, he sees Jennifer Lawrence, and he's
Yeah.
like, "I want to have sex with this girl. I'm gonna fuck her up."
Well,
and just
you're
pops
here.
her out. What about a friendly urethra that opens into another dimension whenever a flame-grilled Whopper asks for penance?
You got
Yeah,
that
what
one.
about that?
I don't know. What about it?
Cool. Could the main Jaeger in Pacific Rim defeat Godzilla in a battle? The Cloverfield monster?
Should I watch Pacific Rim?
The opioid
Tonight? epidemic?
Yeah, I would say so. Pacific Rim. Spencer fell asleep during
Spencer
Pacific.
said no.
I also fell asleep during Pacific Rim.
There's a little twist to this Spencer falling asleep story.
Uh-oh.
We were at a spa, and Spencer fell asleep watching Pacific Rim, and he farted himself awake.
Yeah.
And it was so loud. And it was in like a room full of people.
Oh,
A lot of
a lot
Koreans.
Of, a lot of Korean people were watching Pacific Rim. I farted so loud that I woke myself
Oh
up.
no.
It was
uh,
a great.
I don't believe the main Jaeger in Pacific Rim could defeat Godzilla in battle.
No.
Okay.
Godzilla in the Godzilla movie, Godzilla like opens up that guy's throat and then shoots his little laser beam right
Yeah.
down
Yeah,
his throat.
If we've learned anything from Godzilla films, it's that Godzilla's undefeatable. Basically, no matter what, he comes back at the very least.
But what has happened when he's gonna take on King Kong?
Have you ever watched footage of the old like 1960s Godzilla vs King Kong? It is so funny because it's just two dudes in suits. It is so great. It's exactly what it is. He's like throws a rock, and it's so funny.
I've got a height comparison for the Jaegers if you'd like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jaeger size comparison. Godzilla is 200 feet tall, and
Seems short, honestly.
What about Godzuki?
not on this drawing that I have.
Mecha Godzilla?
Also not here, but Coyote Tango is 280.
I'm unfamiliar.
Is that
with
like a
Coyote Tango.
Gundam wing?
That's what they look like. But that's what the Jaegers look like. Crimson Typhoon is another Jaeger. Striker Eureka is.
Urethra.
They're all taller. Gypsy Danger, which is my rap name.
Ooh.
That is 260 feet
That would
tall.
be like.
Don't you prefer Roma Danger?
Yeah, Gypsy Danger.
No,
is,
it gives
is
it gives it the extra added.
You're a little edgy. It'd
Yeah,
be like Native American threat.
It would be Feather Indian threat.
Right, yes, right. Of course.
Look, you have to differentiate. Feather or dot. I don't know.
Dot ND. No, not going to
That's it.
get drawn off sides.
That's all the questions we have.
Well, this was another enthralling episode of Super FilmsCast 64. Thank you so much for listening. Please leave us a comment on iTunes. That would be so awesome if you did that. We're finally rated now 5 out of 5.
Get rated.
Get
Boom.
rated.
Yeah. Rate us and
Let you know what you think of the podcast. Let us know you're listening because I have a sneaking suspicion we're talking to ourselves sometimes.
why would we care? We're having a blast.
We are having a blast.
This is for us.
Blast and a half.
Blast and a half. I love you guys.
Yeah. Trey, where can people find you?
You can find me at Trey Vids on Twitter. And also I have a YouTube channel that I rarely put anything on anymore. Trey1310. Go check that out. Maybe I'll have something up in the next month.
Woo. Spencer, what about you?
Dez caught it.
All right. And Connor.
Coach Chucky.
You can find me on another podcast that will not be named here.
Super Gamescast 64.
You guys allow him to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Gamescast.
You know, I
only assume he's always talking about FilmsCast on the Gamescast.
He tries, but Austin, I don't let him.
You know, and I used to get mad. He calls me Austin all the time. But today I was trying to text Austin, and I went to send a message, and I just typed my own name in there. And I was like, what a fool. What a fool I am.
You're a fool.
He got me to pronounce my name wrong at a grocery store once.
See, I have much influence on you guys. I have a lot of influence.
All right.
Well, thanks for listening.
I'm at the Fullerton, by the way.
Yeah, go follow Adam. Tell him he's cool.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.